So, after 6 days, we left Bangkok for Ko Pha-ngan, travelling south through Surat by bus for 15 hours before hopping on a ship and sailing to the island for the famous full moon party. We would be arriving at our hostel on Ko Pha-ngan in the afternoon before the all-night event, but would we make it there on time and be able to handle all the madness that awaited? The answer is yes. Yeah, we did. Well, we made it to our second stop, the island of Ko Pha-ngan. And honestly, this place just looks like a postcard, really. Currently on a floating raft right now, going out in the middle of the ocean, so I really hope I don't drop this camera. So we came here for the... oh Jesus! So we came here for the full moon party, which was a couple days ago. Really nice experience. I didn't take my camera for it because I wanted to actually experience the party, so the only footage that I have of it is from phones. I apologise for that, but it was fun. You could probably imagine it. It was a massive party on the beach. Yeah, the little town that we were in was all part of the party too. So we didn't need to pay for any tickets once we were there. We were already in the town, so it was just a case of going for a party. Yeah, the full moon party was practically everything we expected it to be. Good drunken fun on the beach. People getting stoned, obviously it's legal out here. Just probably about 5 or 6 stages along the beach. Lots of different activities that were going on as well. Chloe went to see a tarot, which is like a kind of truth teller with cards. It was quite funny initially because he was sat there all alone for ages without anyone coming to speak to him, and then when Chloe came along, gave him the money, he stood up and just walked away and was gone for about 5-10 minutes. He did eventually come back, read Chloe some truth. She was like, oh wow. What he didn't predict was that Chloe would go on to break her phone later, which is why today our mission is to go into town, which is probably about a 30-minute drive from here, where the ferry station is, go to a phone repair shop, have a look and see if they can do anything. If they can't, then we'll have to get her a second-hand one. It's very hilly here, and I've never seen so many tourists riding mopeds. It's also remarkable just how quiet it is on the days when there aren't a full moon party here. We first arrived in the morning of the full moon party and it was just mayhem everywhere. Now it's very quiet.
You have to clean a little bit. There's sandies on that.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if I need to buy like a wireless charger.
Have a look, yeah?
Yeah, please, thank you.
I call also taxi all day.
Oh, thank you so much.
No. Well, we couldn't get the phone repaired, so we had to buy her a new one, but she's happy now. For our last full day in Ko Pha-ngan, we wanted to make the most of it, but as we woke up we were greeted by our first introduction of Asian rain. That is some seriously heavy rain. When it stopped, we got some food and didn't do a lot else. The next morning we got up bright and early to catch our ferry to the next Thai island, Koh Samui. So we're currently outside of the ferry port, waiting to go to Koh Samui. We actually missed our ferry. It was scheduled for 10:30, but we got here late because of the taxi. So we went to get some cheap food, less than £5 for 2 meals and 2 drinks, which isn't too bad. We're about 20 minutes away from the ferry terminal, so we went to book our taxi about 9:45. Our ferry was at 10:30, thinking it would only take 20 minutes and we'd get there on time. The guy called the taxi, and then about 5-10 minutes later some random dude wandered up. Apparently he was the taxi, so he was like, okay, follow me. So we just grabbed our luggage and followed him for about 5 minutes around the corner, where he took us to this place with 2 taxis. Just sat there. He was like, okay, wait here, we'll get you to your place. Happy days. And we were then there waiting for about 30-40 minutes with these 2 parked taxis just sat there doing nothing. The guy came over to us, asked for double the money to go to the ferry port, and we were like, nah. Yeah, I mean, at this point it's like 10:10, so we're probably going to get there late anyway. Turns out the dude who was just sat there was actually our driver, and we ended up getting to the ferry port at about 10:45 late. So now we're taking a speedboat to Koh Samui. When we told that taxi driver that our ferry was at 10:30, I remember he just looked at his watch and then laughed. I should have known right there and then. So here we are on the beautiful island of Koh Samui. The accommodation that we're in is quite nice. We're only there for a couple nights. Slightly on the pricey side, but it's a lot nicer than where we were in Ko Pha-ngan. We're currently in the jungle at the moment, about to go and see a waterfall. We just had a dog lead us for about 30 minutes all the way to the main road. This place is truly special. We're surrounded by coconut trees, there's wildlife everywhere. I've seen so many different coloured butterflies. And Jesus Christ, that view. That view. We're going to keep going all the way back to town. Number 1. Let's see the fucking... Oh yeah, is that crocodile? That's crocodile.
Maybe their jacket potatoes look better than ours.
Did you?
Got a samurai sword, the knuckle dusters, ninja blades. Later that evening we had dinner right next to the sea, and with this in mind Chloe and I both ordered seafood, starting with calamari before Chloe went for the catch of the day, which was bass, while I had a sweet and sour stir fry with prawns. Including a couple beers, the whole meal came to roughly £28.70, which is a bit on the pricey side, but for a one-time thing, why not? So, it's about 8:30 in the morning at the moment. We're just about to head off to an uninhabited island just off the coast of Koh Samui. Inhabited fully by indigenous pigs. Hopefully we'll see some monkeys too. There was loads of monkeys in Ko Pha-ngan, but those elusive bastards, I wasn't able to get a snapshot of them there. So we'll see. So, here we are on Koh Samui, also known as Pig Island, where I'm trying desperately not to step in pig poo again. And yeah, we're around a kind of beach bar area. There's loads of pigs around here, probably because they've worked out this is where they're most likely to get food. But the whole island is just full of pigs, and it's quite beautiful too. He's got a collar on. Hey little dude. He's like, are you seeing this? What do you know? The weather's so nice, I put my white shirt on. Here we are on the island of Koh Tan, hoping to do a little snorkeling. The ideal area for snorkeling is unavailable at the moment due to rough seas, so I'm not sure what we'll see out here. Who knows? There's little holes all over the beach where blue crabs live. It's pretty amazing. Thankfully they only come out at night because they can be a bit dangerous. There's also a lot of rubbish on this island, unfortunately, from all the passing tourist ships that have come by. The beach, however, is absolutely beautiful. Well, I think that trip was great value for money. For about £45 each, we got to see 2 islands, 3 beaches, unlimited bottled water, a meal for lunch, and the staff were really, really lovely. But now, after all of that, we're going to do our essentials. It's laundry time. On our last night in Koh Samui, we headed back into town for more food and found an English-style pub called the Frog and Gecko, with a really decent live Premier League game on. The pints were just under £2 and the food came to just under £10 altogether. I got their signature burger, which was pretty tasty, and I know you're probably thinking, why am I watching this when you're meant to be in Thailand? But we were tired from all the travelling and this came as a nice little bit of comfort, with the extra of smoking inside whilst watching the football. The next morning we hopped on a boat and headed for the mainland, where after a one-night stay in Hat Yai, a city just on the border of an area infamous for kidnapping tourists, we would head for Ko Lipe. To do this, we needed to get on a bus that was supposed to get us there in 5 hours. We had a quick and very cheap meal at a ferry restaurant that I'm sure contributed to me being stuck near a toilet for a day, and then we were off. But it turned out the journey was more complicated than we thought. There's just a load of cows eating the grass in the middle of the motorway. We've just been dropped off in some random bus station about 4 hours away from Hat Yai, our destination. I just bought some cigarettes from some kids. There is very little English here, but the locals are friendly. This is the chillest bus service I've ever been on, and by chill, I mean very late.
I'm so dishevelled.
Yeah, so do I. We've just been on a crazy trip. When did it start?
We left the hotel at 8:45 a.m.
Really? I thought it started at 10 a.m.
No.
That was the most mental bus journey
Yeah, it was.
we've been on. So, didn't we bought a ticket to Hat Yai.
Yeah, so we bought a ticket to Hat Yai, and then the company would sort out everything for that. Like, so we were in Koh Samui. So we got a taxi Koh Samui from our hotel at Koh Samui, and because we were late for our last transfer, we made sure we were very early. But we were so early that we got on an earlier ferry, which was fine. So we got into Don Sak at 11:30, I think, and then we had to wait until 2 p.m. for our transfer. So we just waited in the ferry terminal, had some food. And then we got on some pimped out trailer to another area in Don Sak, and then waited again there, not really knowing what was going on. And then we got on a van, which was fine. The van was quite pleasant actually.
Yeah, it was alright.
Until he just dropped us off at, I can't remember the name, but again, a random...
Yeah, a completely random bus terminal, seemingly in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was a town, but it was a town where I don't think anyone was expecting to see foreigners anytime soon.
No.
It was very much a Thai town.
Yeah, so we got off there. The bus driver, like our van driver, couldn't speak any English, and we can't obviously speak any Thai. So we were trying to communicate with each other, and eventually we found out that we have to get off the van and went into the bus terminal, and then tried to figure out what bus we had to take then. And a taxi driver came over and spoke to us and said, yeah, you need to get that bus over there. So we're like, oh, sweet, perfect. So we waited on the seats by that bus.
Yeah. And then the bus driver for that bus came along, asked us where we were going to. We told him where we were going to, and then his reaction was, and then just walked off, which made me believe that we were waiting by the right bus.
Yeah.
Until the time when that bus was about to go, and then we grabbed our bags, went onto it, and suddenly it was like, no, you got to get onto that one.
Yeah.
What, you mean the one that just left like 2-3 minutes ago?
Yeah, so we got
right
off.
Next to us, literally just behind us.
We got off the bus, we got an ice cream.
Got an ice cream, had to wait for about 20-30 minutes,
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad,
bad
until another bus that was taking us to here would come along.
Yeah, so we got on that bus.
And we were aware that it was also kind of going to act as like a courier service.
Yeah, so it did say in the booking that it was also like a post office like thing.
Yeah, so that when the bus driver turned up, he immediately got out and then took loads of what looked like bread rolls or scones out of the boot of the bus, put it next to the shop that we were literally sat by, and then parked the bus in the bus terminal. And we kept checking with him, like, are you going to the place we need to get to? And he was like, yeah. This dude looked so silly, it was unbelievable. His haircut, his moustache.
Oh, you're just bullying him.
Well, I mean...
He was fine.
He was fine in the end.
Yeah, but so he did this bus journey, probably stopped about 100 times. And people were just sort of getting on and off of obviously the bus service. And then I started, once we got to Hat Yai, I started looking tracking us where we were on the phone, and we were past Hat Yai, but thankfully Rob went to speak to him and he dropped us off.
You forgot the best part about the whole story, the fact that he'd randomly pull up at different places obviously for like his weird delivery route. But like sometimes it would be in a car park, that's fine. Sometimes it would be on a dual carriageway where he would just pull up on the left-hand side, get out of the car, go over to the other side of the road. By the way, there's like 2 lanes of cars coming on the other side. And the way that he ran, I'm gonna find some kind of video so you can visualize this. The way he ran every single time he was delivering something was just utterly ridiculous. Oh, by the way, our scheduled time of arrival, considering we started this journey early, was meant to be 7 p.m. It's now 10 past 10 and we've just got to our hotel. We probably turned up to Hat Yai about 20 minutes ago. The water here in Ko Lipe is crystal clear. I don't think I've seen a beach as beautiful as this, especially with the backdrop. All the mountain ranges in the background. This is truly, truly stunning. I definitely think that this is my favourite of all the islands we've been to so far. So chill. So ridiculously relaxed. It's 1/8 of the size of Portsea Island, so it's quite a small island. They don't even have a 7-Eleven here. These are all just local shops, so the prices are slightly higher than they have been in other places we've been to. However, by slightly higher, take a bottle of Pepsi Max for example. Over here it's 550 millilitres, that would cost you about 50p on mainland Thailand. Here it's 60. Utterly, utterly beautiful. We spoke to quite a few Thai people on the different islands that we went to, and in the mainland on Surat as well. And every single one, when we mentioned that we were going to Ko Lipe, that was the one that they were like, oh yes, I think this is where a lot of local Thais go on holiday too, especially when they work on other islands. What a beautiful place. At night we found a super busy restaurant that had staff working with walkie-talkies because the place was so rammed. There was a guy playing funny covers, Chloe had a super tasty grilled chicken thigh, and I had an omelette stuffed with beef and noodles. I even got a banana split because it was so cheap. The food was great and we partied at this bar afterwards where we met some really cool people. Unfortunately, we accidentally left Ko Lipe a day early and now we're stuck in this random place for a night. With that, our island hopping adventure is over and we're now travelling to Malaysia where hopefully we don't get kidnapped along the way.